Hi, I'm Joe Braverman, and welcome to T-Hawk Sports Tonight, your latest up-to-date news on all Algonquin sports. I'm Joe Braverman, alongside me is Nick Cavanna, and Nick, it's a sure exciting fall season this year.
Sure is, Joe. Looks to be another successful one for all the Algonquin sports teams, and we're happy to say this is our first episode of Algonquin T-Hawk Sports Tonight. Joe, let's go to the action.
All right then, Nick. T-Hawks football is our first topic. They opened on September 12th in a very, I don't know if you would call it exciting or very weird game on September 12th.
Algonquin taking the field for the first time this season in their home opener against Shrewsbury. The Tomahawk Superfan Club fired up, looking for a big upset. Just take a listen. Now let's go to the action. Joe?
Okay, first half, Matt Bonnell dropping back to throw. Here's the throw. He goes deep, and it is caught. No! Kyle Hill stripping the ball away, and a possible sure touchdown is taken away. Now on offense, Tim Kevel in the shotgun play action to Jimmy Egan. Even the cameraman gets fooled, and Kevel takes it himself up the middle, and he's breaking free for a Tomahawks first down.
Unfortunately, severe thunderstorms rolled on through, and the game would have to be rescheduled to Friday at 4 after 2 lightning delays. Prior to the cancellation, though, Algonquin kids rocking the school in the roller coaster, made famous by Dan Chang, but led here by senior Pat Kane. Back to Joe now with the second half on Friday afternoon.
Now it's day 2, half 2, as Bonolo hands it off to Nicholas DiLiberto, and he gets away from those defenders, finds that opening, and he is gone. 58-yard rushing touchdown for DiLiberto, and it's a commanding 26-0 lead for Shrewsbury. But the T-Hawks aren't going down that easy, as the offense lines up at the 34-yard line. Here's the snap. It's a high snap. Kevel gets it. Here's the pass, and he caught it! Egan able to catch that. He's got that ball. It's a 34-yard passing touchdown. First 6 points of 2013 for Algonquin, and the lead is back to 20. And that's where things change for Algonquin, as DiLiberto takes it for the first down. He keeps going, breaks the tackles, but he fumbles the ball, and it's a mad scramble. Both Algonquin and Shrewsbury going for that ball. Shrewsbury wants it, Algonquin wants it. It's a mad scramble. The pile of players, both Algonquin and Shrewsbury, trying to get that ball. Refs have got to make a decision, and they can see that the T-Hawks have the ball. They recovered it, but unfortunately, that was the last gasp for the Tomahawks, as they unfortunately dropped their home opener to the Shrewsbury Colonials. Very sad, 33-13. Quite a few days for the Algonquin football team. After that game, the T-Hawks may have lost, but the coaches and captains told all their players to keep your heads high and don't let this one game affect them. Speaking of coaches and captains, I had the chance earlier in the week to talk to Coach Justin McKay and senior captains Jake Turner, Mike Baker, and Tim Kevel. They all told me it truly is inspiring and honoring to be a leader. All right, I'm Joe Braverman here with a special interview. A couple members of the boys varsity football team. To my left, head coach Justin McKay and captain Jake Turner. And to my right, also captains Michael Baker and Tim Kevel. First off, guys, I want to thank you for doing this interview.
Thanks for having us.
All right. And Coach, the first question will go to you. Last year was your first year, and Algonquin did pretty good. What expectations do you have in your second year as head coach?
We just want to continue to build off this program where we started from last year. These guys, along with the over 100 kids that we have in the program, we just want to take them and continue to work every single day to take this thing the next step towards the next level. We don't measure it in wins and losses necessarily in terms of we need to win X amount of games. We just want to get better every single day, and these guys have been committed to that from the day we started in January with the off-season workouts all the way through to where we are today.
All right, and you talked about commitment. All three of you guys certainly have commitment to be a captain. I'll start with you, Jake. As a captain, what did it mean to you when you first heard that you were the captain of this team?
I felt like it was a big responsibility being named captain, but I felt like I was ready to take it on because I worked so hard in the off season. But like it just means a lot to be a leader of this team and that they put their trust in me, and I'm just gonna try my hardest not to let them down.
All right, same question to you, Mike. What did it mean when you first heard you were captain?
It felt great, for the whole team to have voted us captain, and immediately you can feel that responsibility shift because you're at the weight room that day and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go get a lift, and now you're like, I'm leading these stretches, like these guys are looking up to me for help and answers, so it's just a big responsibility, and you just got to be willing to take it.
Like they said, it was a huge honor to know that your teammates were willing to vote you and put their trust in you to be the guy to take them onto that field. But it is a huge responsibility, and like they both said, it kind of puts a lot more pressure on you, but at the same time, like I think all these guys here embrace that pressure, and we're ready to take it on.
All right, well, that sounds good. You guys definitely improved most on the past seasons, even though it was a 3-8 record. Coach, I'll go to you first. What position did you try to improve the most heading into this season?
The biggest thing we tried to improve on the most was just building our athleticism, our strength, and most importantly, our commitment to an overall goal, both on offense and defense. We didn't necessarily say, well, we need a stronger quarterback or a stronger running back or linebacker. We didn't think that an individual position is going to win football games for us. We believed that the whole team was going to win football games for us. And one of the things that we really tried to build was a strength in numbers, strength in the weight room, strength in the program, and a commitment to playing football here at this school. So we're really happy about where we are at in terms of building numbers and taking that forward.
Right, and I'll build off that, Jake. How much commitment is there to keep improving this team?
It's a huge commitment. We've been coming into the weight room since January. It's been like 9 months now that we've been going at this, so it's day in and day out just coming back, and it's a big responsibility and huge commitment.
All right, same question to you guys, Michael.
Yeah, the commitment's just something we love. We love to get out there and get after it each day. When everyone's going 100 miles an hour, it doesn't leave any room for anyone else to go any less. So it just keeps the intensity up. Everyone's committed.
Yeah, we haven't seen numbers like this in a long, long time here at Algonquin, so that's one thing. And they're not just showing up, they're showing up and working hard, so that's nice to see out there.
Do you think it really helps and drive the team when you see the statistics like that?
Definitely. I think that when other people see that other people are showing up and working just as hard, it gets them more motivated to come out and work their hardest.
Michael?
Yeah, it's just great to have all these numbers. It's great, even when we show up to the field and we got all these guys walking off the bus, it definitely adds a little bit of intimidation to the other team, I think.
All right, Jake?
Yeah, having everybody here is just a big help to the team because we got a lot of depth at every position, so it really helps out all around.
I think the biggest thing that these guys represent is everything that our program is all about comes from the numbers and the representation from these guys. The best part about having so many numbers is that guys want to play for each other. And these guys as leaders and captains, they're not the only leaders we have in the football program. We identify captains, but we have other guys who are part of our football program that are great leaders. And that strength in numbers comes from those great leaders. It comes from what you see in the background with the weight room lifting program we did. It comes from what you see in the classroom with guys stepping up and doing what they're doing in the classroom first, and it's taking itself to the field.
Speaking of the program, I want to take you back to your pregame speech. I was there with you. You were referencing a lot about the clock that's right outside the locker room where you said, quote, that clock represents our football program. And you also mentioned on Thanksgiving morning, we took where we were as a football program and said no more. What did you mean by that?
As we continue to grow as a football program, there's been a past view of Algonquin football that it hasn't been good. Going into last Thanksgiving, Algonquin had lost the previous 5 years on Thanksgiving. They'd only beaten Westboro 2 times in the 2000s. On Thanksgiving morning last year, on last year's team, we said, no more. We're not going to accept losing in games anymore. The 2012 season is over. Unfortunately, those kids are gone, and now it's these guys' time. We put a clock up in this weight room here to talk about building towards this season, and that clock ticks every week, talking about when we're going to get ready for that next game. To them, we wanted to make sure that everybody understood that this is your chance. This is your time. It starts now.
All right, and referencing the clock, guys, how much as players does that clock fuel you to want to perform better?
I mean, it was a big reminder coming in every day, coming into the weight room, just seeing it tick down one day at a time, and it was just a constant reminder of what we were working for.
Yeah, the clock I just viewed as motivation. It's just you understand what you got to do and why you're doing it, and that's all the clock really means to me. It's just like I get in here, I see that clock, I'm like, all right, we got Shrewsbury, we got Marlboro coming up, let's go get it.
Yeah, it was huge motivation to get me going. There were days in the summer where I'd come in here, all my friends were out having fun, going to the beach, and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to put in the lift right now, but I'd look up and see that clock and remember what it's all about and what we're putting the effort for.
Well, definitely a lot of effort is shown. Truly, last year and into this year, you looked a lot better than people ever thought. And Tim, I'll go to you. Where do you think the success, the improving success, has come from within this team?
Well, it started in the off season. We had guys coming in, working their hearts out, coming in, competing every day, like our motto is. And also, just having those guys out there, I think everyone here wants to win. They all want to turn around this program, so they're all putting in every bit of their effort.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that changed with us was the mindset that, we're not a bad team. We're not going to go out there and get killed anymore, that we're going to compete with these teams, and we're going to give everything we got to get the W now.
I agree with both of them that it was I forget the question.
The success. It's about your success. Where do you think it takes you now going into the future?
All right. Like starting last year, it was just a different mindset for our whole football program that we were going to come out and we were going to like show up for these games. And it wasn't just going to be coming out and just putting up nothing anymore. So I think a lot of us just really want to win, and that's what gets a lot of us going.
I think the biggest thing is the commitment to each other. For the first time ever, playing high school football at this school matters to the people here. For a while, it mattered to a lot of kids. It mattered to a lot of the community members. It mattered on Thanksgiving morning when everyone's here. But this year, especially, and a little bit into last year, but mostly this year, you've seen it matters to these guys because they care about each other. We really every team says family when they break down the huddle. This group really is a very close group, and it started right from when we began in January in the offseason, and it's building every single day now. Guys pushing each other to get better, and they care about each other, which I think is a huge, huge thing.
And it's definitely important. The next game you guys have is at home this Friday. You play the Marlboro Panthers. What are your guys' mindset going into that game?
Obviously every game we have the mindset going in to win. We want to go out and win the football game. That's a culture that we've really tried to bring here from day one, that no matter who we're playing, whether it be Marlboro, Shrewsbury, Westboro, anybody, we're going to go win the football game. The biggest thing is consistency. Going out and doing things over and over and over again. Marlboro is a fantastic team. They're a very good football team. They do a lot of great things. We can do great things too. We got to believe in ourselves and continue to be consistent.
Marlboro is a really fast team. They run a lot of no-huddle offense, so we've been putting in a lot of work this week. We come out, and the coach has been running us a lot this week, trying to have a good week of practice. And I think the amount of effort that we put in this week is really going to come out in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Marlboro is a good team, but we're a good team too. And like I always say, the only way we're going to find out is like what happens on the field.
Yeah, like Coach was saying, we go into every week expecting to get that W, and this week's no different. And with what Jake said, we're trying to go fast because we know Marlboro's a fast team, but at the same time, we're trying to keep our heads and trying to stay in the game and not lose it.
All right, and you guys definitely are one of the big leaders of this team. So I just want to put in perspective for you guys. How difficult is it to be a captain and a coach?
I mean, it's difficult at times, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. Getting your team riled up for games and stuff. I mean, it's tough when everyone's eyes are looking at you, but I kind of embrace it a little bit now.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to learn to embrace it. You got to view it as fun. You got to enjoy the pressure, and for the most part, I think all of us do, and it's great. I just love it.
Yeah, I agree with what they were saying, that you have to embrace it, and it's a different look on having people look at you for a change, but it's a different look trying to lead the team, and I like it.
The biggest thing with coaching is trying to make sure that these guys have a great experience in the game that they love, that they can take into their life and use in order for them to be successful down the road. And that's our whole goal. This is an extension of the classroom, whether it's the same thing as at 7:30 as it is at 3:30. The only difference is we got shoulder pads and helmets on, and we're not sitting behind desks. And these guys have done a tremendous job of being great leaders. We've tried to work with them with their leadership, and the best part is seeing them enjoy themselves and have fun, because we know that we're creating a lifetime of memories for them and teaching them how to be great fathers, great men, and great people down the road.
All right, well, I'd like to thank your time, Coach McKay, Jake, Mike, Tim. I'm Joe Braverman for T-Hawk Sports Tonight. Truly some inspiring words for all four guys. That game against the Marlboro Panthers was just played September 20th, this past Friday, here at Richard Walsh Field. If you want to know what the outcome was, stick around for more. And we'll also be getting into soccer, where we talk to one of the newest players on the team and varsity soccer head coach Ken Morin. We'll be right back with more T-Hawk Sports Tonight. Second game for the Algonquin Tomahawks against the Marlboro Panthers. John Rumney in the shotgun took a high snap and threw it to Jose Caquillas, and he's going to use the sidelines to his advantage. Got to shake off Ben Jackowitz. He does, and in 3 offensive plays, Marlboro strikes first with a quick 7-0 lead over the Algonquin Tomahawks. Now Algonquin will be in their first offensive possession. Tim Keble is in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He can't find anyone. He runs up the middle, goes through the hole, and able to get that first down. Keble did a great job on the QB draw the entire game, and that brought up first down for the Tomahawk. Now same possession. They're in the 5. The snap and the handoff to Dylan Connolly. The third down running back takes it for the touchdown. We're tied at 7. Now Marlboro on their next possession, Rumney with a quick flip to Willie Cowdery, and he's going to break and shed some tackles using the sidelines to his advantage, just like Caquillas. And in 5 offensive plays, Marlboro is up 14-7 on the Tomahawks. Now in the second quarter, Tim Keble with a pump fake. He's going deep, going to find Jimmy Egan, and he caught it. A deep touchdown, brought it to a 1-point game. Algonquin missed the extra point, though. Now Rumney with a deep pass. He goes to Caquillas again. Second receiving touchdown, and it's 21-13. Now snap again, pump fake. He goes deep, and he finds Matt Dahl down the sidelines. No one's going to catch him. He's going to score. Marlboro blowing the lead away. And this next one would seal the deal, as it's an option to Caquillas, and great block by number 84, Alec DeVoe, and it's 35-13 Marlboro. Now Algonquin with the last chance. The handoff to Justin Smith. He finds a hole, goes in the end zone. It's a touchdown, but unfortunately that would not be enough, as Algonquin loses 35-20 over to the Panthers.
We are back here on T-Hawk Sports Tonight, where Joe Braverman just took you inside with the football team. Now we head to the Nets, where the soccer team was looking to get off to another successful start to the season. One of our own, Joe Braverman, was lucky enough to speak with head coach Ken Morin and future sophomore Max Mishaw just a few days ago. Here's them down on the field.
All right, I'm here with Max Michaud, one of the players on the varsity soccer team. First off, Max, how does it feel to be on the soccer team after being on the freshman soccer team just a year ago?
Well, it is a big step up, so I have a lot to work on. You can't go in here thinking that you're the best, of course, so you gotta really work hard, really earn your ranks, you know what I mean?
What's it like to practice with players who are older than you?
Well, it's a lot of pressure, and these kids they're big, serious kids, and they've been playing for longer than I have, so I really have to earn it, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and you are currently 1-1 on the season, a win a few days ago and a loss just yesterday to Shrewsbury. What are you trying to improve on after that last game where you lost 1-0?
Well, we have a lot to improve on this season. That's pretty obvious. First of all, I think we should really work on keeping the ball in the middle. Really, we have to work on connecting all parts of the field, and we have to work on playing in the third half of the field, the third half being the attacking part of the field. We really have to work on trying to ping passes back and forth, look for connections, instead of trying to hopefully hit the ball over the defenders. So we have to work on our connections.
All right, thank you very much, Max, for your time. All right, I'm here with varsity head coach soccer of the boys, Mr. Ken Moore. First off, Ken, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, we know the boys soccer team had a big season last year. What expectations are you setting this year?
Well, I think the expectations we have are similar every single year. You know, we want to come out, we want to win the league championship, but in the end, our ultimate goal is to be state champions.
And it certainly was an accomplishment last year. Did you see any flaws last year as the season was winding down that you tried to improve on this year?
Yeah, you know, we didn't have as much depth as I had hoped, and so this year we were trying to make a concerted effort to get more guys at a higher level of play, so that when we got into a couple weeks where we're playing 3 games in a row, we were able to give guys rest and be a little bit healthier at the end of the year.
And some of those guys are 3 of the captains: Connor Henry, Danny Keller, and Liam McCarthy. Excuse me. What's it like to have those 3 seniors as your captains, sort of leading this team?
Well, it's kind of nice because a couple of them have been with us for all 4 years. Connor and Danny have been with us all 4 years, so it's great to see them growing up and growing into a leadership role, where as freshmen they were sort of deers in the headlight, so that's kind of nice. And then Liam is just a physical and demonstrative presence on the field. He really gives us a great backbone in goal, where we feel really comfortable with him.
And speaking of him being in goal, he did let up 1 goal, but that was the only difference last night against Shrewsbury. How tough was Shrewsbury? Because it was a very short 1-0 game.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing about soccer, it's one of those sports where you can play really, really well, catch a bad break, and then not get any good ones going your way. And that was sort of that night. I thought the first half we were a little slow to get sorted, but once we did, we took over the game. The second half, I thought we played in their end the entire time, but it was almost like there was cellophane over the goal. It just wouldn't go in, and we've been on the positive end of those results, and last night we were on the negative end, but giving Shrewsbury credit, they work extremely hard. They're playing good soccer, and they managed to work hard enough to create a lot of luck for themselves.
Now, tomorrow you do travel to Groton to take on Groton Dunstable. What do you think are going to be the keys to get a win in that game?
First off, they're a great opponent. They're 2-time defending Division II state champions, so it's great having them on the schedule. I think for us is playing together as a team and continuing to try to create in the final third and create more opportunities on goal and get more shots that are a little bit more threatening than we had on Sunday night.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Coach. For Seahawks Sports Tonight, I'm Joe Braverman from Algonquin Regional High School.
Well, Joe, we just got some great inspirational words from Coach Moore and, of course, Max, one of the captains and upcoming superstar here for Algonquin. Speaking of standings, the Algonquin boys varsity soccer team at 1-1-1 right now. Started off with a win, then had a loss, and now a tie, looking to improve the record above 500 in their next game.
And of course, another team trying to do that is the football team, as we mentioned earlier in the program. A game against Shrewsbury that they lost and a game against Marlborough that they lost. They are now 0-2, going to try and get a win.
In girls soccer news, the girls soccer team 2-1-1 at the moment. They started off strong with 2 wins, but then had a loss and followed it up by a tie, looking also, just like the boys soccer team and, of course, the football team, to improve their record from 2-1 and up above.
And now we go to girls volleyball, where they're on a bit of a hot streak, as they are 4-1. They've won 4 out of their first 5 games. The last one coming an 0-3 loss to Westboro, but they have beaten Hudson, Marlborough, Fitchburg, and Shrewsbury.
In field hockey news, where Algonquin unfortunately lost to Wachusett 3-2 in their last contest, but did win their first 3, so they are 3-1 to begin the season. They look to stay hot.
And the most underrated sport that's doing the most successful is golf. They are currently 7-2, having great wins over Shrewsbury, Leominster, Fitchburg, and Shrewsbury again. So they're pretty good against them.
Boys cross country started out slow. They were 0-2 to start the season. They got a win in their last meet. They're now 1-2, and girls cross country looks to do the same.
All right, well, that sounds good. And from high school, we move to the big leagues as the New England Patriots are on a hot streak. They're also 3-0. They just defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-3 with their rookie wide receivers, Kimbrel Tompkins and Aaron Dobson.
From football to baseball news, the Boston Red Sox have just clinched the AL East Division. They will be heading to the playoffs for the first time since 2009, their first division win since 2007. They look to stay hot and play late in October.
Well, we'll see if all these teams can do great. And now, check out our top plays. It's time for the top plays of the day. Here's number 7, girls volleyball against the Westboro Rangers. Sarah Leonard with a great spike to give Algonquin the point. We'll have more from this game coming up in just a few moments. Now we go to number 6, Algonquin football home opener against Shrewsbury Colonials. Matthew Bonnell with a deep pass. It's going to be stripped away by Kyle Hill. What an excellent defensive play. More from this game as well coming up. Number 5, girls varsity soccer against the Groton Dunstable Crusaders. Amanda Murphy going to break the 0-0 tie, faking out those defenders, and a big right-legged shot into the net for the goal. More from this game as well coming up. Now we go number 4 back to volleyball against the Westboro Rangers. Westboro setting up. It's a sure spike, but Emily Cairns with a great block to give Algonquin the point. They unfortunately would lose that game. Number 3 back to varsity soccer. Crusaders on the attack. Here's the shot, but a diving save by Sarah Jackson. Unbelievable save. We'll have more from this game as well coming up. Number 2, Algonquin Friday afternoon football. Tim Kevill dropping back to pass, and it is caught by Jimmy Egan just out of the stretch of the defender. First score 2013 for the Tomahawks, but they'd fall 33-13. Now we go number 1, girls varsity soccer against the Crusaders. Corner kick. Here's the header shot, but a header save by Chrissy Foley. Unbelievable play, but the game would end in a 1-1 draw.
Well, Joe, that was a great edition of Top Plays in our first edition of Tomahawks Tonight.
Well, it surely was a great episode for everyone behind production. Brendan Ford, Mike Davis, Kathy Dalgleish, and also for my partner Nick Cavana. I'm Joe Braidman, and we'll see you next time on T-Hawks Sports Tonight.